compassionate love. Compassionate love requires a lot in romantic relationships and many factors that relates to marriage, like love marriage or arranged marriage. Compassion in love needs a lot of commitment, and when you make a commitment with your romantic partner, you have to see what he can do for your romantic partner. It requires equity where the wife and the husband shares half and half, or girlfriends and boyfriend shares half and half. Trustworthiness is very important also to keep the relationship going. Um, it may be difficult, but you need to trust each other and then promise to never betray each other. And also, you have to be standby. You have to be nearby. Don't keep your distance. That is a really important factor. Um, People starts have. I understand that a lot of people has this intimacy attraction with other people, but there's a risk factor to that. The fatalic stage starts at age 6, where people has this sexual desire, their sexual interest with other people, but it's not a mature time to be attracted to someone. Even at puberty time, where your hormones mature at that time, and that is a really significant factor, and latency is the latest, like from, let's say, age, no, like age 6 to 12, and I'm sorry, the fatalic starts from age 3 to 6, and um, puberty is from maturation on, and maturation of sexual attraction. But what is important is that people starts from teenager, where puberty starts, where they have less lack of self control, but it's suggested to not do that because their frontal lobes of their brain is not developed. The frontal lobe of the brain is developed by the age of 24, and that's where they are able to make proper judgments. Risk factors of having sexual intimacy with other people, with your partner, it can be homosexual, heterosexual attraction, is that people can suffer from financial loss, or they can risk their lives of not fulfilling their education properly. Uh, is a risk factor because either romance or education is a choice during adolescent period. But people should go with the education where they can enhance the knowledge and they can get trained for that area of how to properly approach someone. And it's very important to get a training about the awareness of sexuality with others. It's very important to do that, to get the the awareness of what's the risk of having sexuality with others. The appropriate time period of having that is from at ages from their 20s to their 40s, where people have intimacy or they can suffer from isolation. Of course, as human beings, we need to be with someone at some point. Um, they need to be with their parents at their teenagehood and their early adulthood, but as you go to your late 30s or so, it's very important to explore the world yourself and be with a romantic partner where you can trust them. But when you find someone that is really honest, really ongoing, and is really attracted to you, really attracts who you are. And to be honest, statistically, men are not as affluent and mature as girls are. Girls are more affluent and mature, and they are able to make their judgment about their men's appearance, especially their intelligence level and what they are. But men are not that type. But men needs to get a little bit more awareness about intelligence also to keep a person's relation going. Um, Risk factors of that is underage pregnancy, underage child can be problematic during their teenagehood, where they can abandon them and they can face legal consequences, and they don't fulfill their education properly and where they're supposed to be, and they cannot be financially stable. But when you fall in love with someone, you just need to make sure that you're financially stable, you're educationally fit, and your mentality is at the maturity rate where you can understand the positive and negatives of relation intimacy. So the positive factors is that you can get along with someone and to be trustworthy with someone or to keep the relationship going, but the negatives are that you can face financial hardships, you can sacrifice your education during a young during a young period of time, like during their teenagehood or their childhood. That's not the appropriate time, but the appropriate time is at their late 20s and so on. And if you're not, if you're alone, you can face some severe consequences. Being alone can cause suicidal effects, loneliness. It's like you're feeling despair, but despair is not at that age, but still, it's gonna be the initial stage. Um, like people who has hope versus despair stage is like in their senior age, but that's later on on their time period. But it's very important to to have in-depth knowledge about who you're choosing, what are you going to commit with your romantic partner, and what are you going to establish with your romantic partner, and what goals you want to fulfill as a couple as you go on, and that shows true compassion and love when three things are fulfilled, which is commitment, trustworthiness, and attachment. That is really important to fulfill a successful romantic relationship, and it is highly suggested that you do it when you're educationally fit, you're financially stable, and you're mature enough, maybe like after the age of 24, where your frontal lobe is completely developed, where you're able to make abstract judgment and appropriate judgment, um, like making appropriate decisions in your life, and that's this time where you're completely developed and you're fully grown, knowledge wise. So that's